The city of Brockton is now in your hands. The Brockton, Mass. City of Champions app is a revolutionary civic app that will give whoever downloads it a full picture of the city of Brockton. Users of this app can discover new businesses and restaurants, have access to the local transit system schedule, learn who the Brockton elected officials are, explore attractions and amenities, and stay up to date with the latest news and information going on in the City of Champions. Among the many amazing features of the app is its business directory feature. This business directory is comprised of over 2,000 known businesses in the City of Champions. Business owners who claim their business will have the advantage of free promotion on the app. They will have the ability to inform users of their menus, special deals and discounts, and any other pertinent information. Here's how to claim your business. First, on a laptop or computer, visit claim.mycivicapps.com and click the Claim My Business button at the bottom of the screen. Next, type in Brockton, Mass. City of Champions plus your business name in the appropriate search bars. Once your business appears on the screen, press Claim, enter a name, email, and password for the account, and click Continue. Finally, fill out all of your pertinent business information. This includes everything from the business location, hours, and more. Once complete, click the Save and Send to Moderator button for final approval. Once the moderator approves, your account is all yours to customize and use however is best for your business. If you cannot find your business on the app, please email listmylocalbusiness@gmail.com, and a moderator will ensure your business is inputted into the app for you to claim. The Brockton, Mass. City of Champions app is available for download on both the Apple and Android app stores. Download the app today.
All right. Is everyone here? Ants.
Yes, sir!
Roaches.
Yeah, what of it?
Rodents.
Let's get this cheese!
All right, come on, everyone, settle down, please. Look, we all know why we're here. We'll be eating like queens when we're through with this. That pantry's finally ours. Nobody can stop us now. Charge! No, there's no way. It can't be. It's Old Colony! Old Colony Pest Control. Veteran-owned Massachusetts, Rhode Island-based operation with everything you could dream of for your pest needs. Equipped with top-of-the-line gear to guarantee your home is protected and staying healthy. Phone number is 774-400-5993. Give them a call for the backup you need. Tell them that General Red Revere sent you. They handle anything from ants, roaches, ticks, mosquitoes, rats, and more.
No wildlife or termites at this time.
Hey, watch it, buddy. We're marching.
Sugar the Play, a cash team production, is looking for actors and singers to fill several slots for this upcoming live play. For more information, please call 216-394-8926. That's Sugar the Play, auditions at 216-394-8926.
One day, Alex and Sam were mucking around on their phones.
Why don't we take a selfie? Yeah.
Then Sam had an idea.
I'll take a picture.
What if they sent a picture of Alex's willy to their friend Katie? You know, the kind that disappears in a few seconds. When Katie saw it, she thought it was very funny. So she screen grabbed the picture and sent it to her friends. And they sent it to theirs. And the next day at school...
Newsflash! The world sees Alex's willy.
Alex even got a message from a bully. He then got one from a man he didn't know. Sometimes children share things they shouldn't online. And the effects can be devastating. Help keep your child safe. Search Share Aware.
This is Ayana Marie, and you're listening to Hoobazoo.com.
Caught in the crossfire. The truth is, these kids need discipline. I really believe they want to be pushed to the limit. And then good stuff happens.
Armin! Armin!
What the hell?
Okay, make way. Clear out. This is heat exhaustion. I'm gonna cool down his core. Take his pants off.
Hey, you really don't need to film this, all right?
Where are you gonna put that rod? Hold his leg up. Stand back. What do you...
Oh, oh, oh!
Oh, God!
Hey, I said don't film this. Get away from it. Move out of the way.
You'll be all right, son. In good hands. Is everything okay? Are you all right?
Am I gonna What? Whoa!
Okay, we got another one. Take his pants off. I'm gonna have to cool down his core.
Hey, he looks pretty bad. You might want to use 2 of those.
Gotcha. Back away.
You're filming this, right?
No, this is bad. Don't...
Lucky bastard.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is the proof.
All right, your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. Make sure to click that subscribe button as you see up in the corner there. Make sure to like the show, subscribe to the show. It's a Sinister One production. Also, I've got my sponsors, MDB Electronics, Michael Douglas Barreto. If you have a controller that needs to be fixed, get it out to him. 24, 48 hours is back in action to gaming. Ayana Marie, check out her music everywhere, streaming all over the place. And Tactical Target Systems, that's where I get my zombie targets. When I go to the range, it's great stuff. And I got to thank my guests for last week, Nick Newell, MMA fighter, who was featured in the film Notorious Nick. It's a great film. I watched it. It's a movie about his life and his coming up through the MMA world. And it is a great film. So I want to thank him for coming on the show last week with us. But my guest this week, as you see in the upper left-hand corner, this is a young man from this area who is in the film Don't Look Up, that's seen on Netflix right now. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell you where he's from. What's up, man? Let him know who you are and let him know why you're on the show today.
Hi, my name is Anthony Marrese. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm 22, and I'm an actor, as he said, in Don't Look Up. So yeah, there's the small introduction there. So.
And you were in this film, and it's one of these films. It's an action film, and when they were doing the casting for this film, it was real secretive at first. At first, they just said that they were doing an open casting. They were having people come on. They knew they were going to need a lot of people, but we really didn't know much about this film. Then COVID hit, slowed things down. But then they said that they were going to come around and start doing this film, and the first person they announced was Leonardo DiCaprio, and we were like, whoa. Okay, this isn't just some film. This is a big deal. And then they announced Jennifer Lawrence, who was, here in the Brockton area and got injured during the filming. Yeah, man, you were in this film. Your scene actually involves Jennifer Lawrence. What was it like being in this film and shooting that scene with a friggin' star such as Jennifer Lawrence? Oh my God.
Just very grateful for the opportunity, first and foremost, just to be able to work with them. Just thinking about Jennifer Lawrence, you grow up watching her, and then about 10 years later, you're working with her, even, if it's a small part, that I had, it's just really crazy to think about, like, just after shooting and all said and done, I'm just like, wow, like that happened. But no, all really cool people, that goes for Adam McKay, Timothy Chalamet. I mean, again, her and just everybody down to the assistant directors, hair, makeup, just everything. Just couldn't ask for nice people to work with.
Nice, great stuff. And one of those things that I always talk about when people are on this show, I always like to mention the food and see their faces light up, because one of the things that people don't realize when you're on a major motion picture set, the food they feed you is worth the pay. Look. You get 3 to 4 choices to choose from the catering truck, and it is top notch food. What was it like, man, being on set? Tell me about it.
I mean, when it came to the food, I'm just thinking about that. One of the assistants that was, helping in my trailer, she's like, "Oh, what can I get you?" and stuff like that. This was for the scene that I was in, like, the liquor store, and we're shoplifting, and she's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And I'm like, "What do I want? There's choices, hold on, wait a second." So I really had to think about it. I'm like, I mean, eggs and a hash brown, I guess. I don't know. So, I mean, I've never had something like that, because, I mean, prior to Don't Look Up, I've done a handful of student films, and it was just, you don't get that kind of, like that. I was like, man, this is luxury,
Student films, you're getting stuff out the vending machine of the student lobby. Honey buns and Mountain Dew. That's our student budget. That's how it was when we were doing stuff over at Massasoit, Yeah, it's a big difference. Big difference. So what was it like? It was, super professional on the set. Everybody pretty much kind of got along. How long were your days? Because I know it's sometimes it can be tough, man.
For me, I mean, because I was really in 2 scenes. It was very quick, honestly. I mean, I had to get there early. I mean, it was like, I feel like 6 hours all in all. I mean, I was thinking, Chris, the first day when I was there, that was the scene outside the D'Angelo's in Brockton. That was about like a 4 or 5 hour day, and I feel like I spent more time, between hair and makeup and just finally getting on the set versus actually doing the scene. But yeah, no, and then as well as the second scene, yeah, I would have to say it was around like 6 hours, 7 hours spent on set.
Nice. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, no.
And it's sometimes the days can go long, but I think a lot of that also was because of COVID too. You guys were still shooting just under COVID, so it was a definitely great filming around here. I remember they shut down Montello Street in Brockton. I believe there was one night they had cold weather. There was something that happened. They had some bad weather come through, and they had to stop shooting for that. And then they ended up with her she got injured during a scene where they had exploding glass, and she got glass in the eye. So I remember she was out for a little while. But I remember it was amazing because I drove down Montello Street, which was closed off. They made you turn off, and they had a big crane with a scaffolding hanging high in the sky, which is where they would imprint the CGI for whatever was going on in the film. So it was very, impressive to see that. It's great to see that they're filming a lot of these things around here in the Brockton area, Weymouth and Quincy and South Shore area, because it does bring a lot of revenue. And one of the things I'm happy about is that, Netflix, I think they have like 2 TV shows that they're also filming in this area. For you, I know you're an actor. You're coming up, and streaming is a big deal. Getting on some of these shows, getting on some of these movies. Do you keep your name out there? Do you still keep grinding and trying to get involved with a lot of these things that are coming up?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always keeping my eyes open, whether that's like, looking on Backstage or any of the Facebook, group chats that there are out there, just really just keeping my eye open and just submitting as much as I can. So yeah, no, definitely just eyes open at all times whenever they're casting for my age. So
yeah. Nice. And your scene, and to be honest, I'm gonna let people know his scene is almost similar to the scene in the first Terminator movie, where Terminator arrives on planet Earth. Well, he doesn't arrive on planet Earth; he arrives from a different time, because the whole story still takes place on Earth. And there's this scene with 3 actors who confront Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they meet their demise. But those 3 actors all went on to be big actors. You know, they all end up having great careers in film. And your scene is almost to that. So we're going to actually be showing the scene at the end of this interview. We're actually going to give people kind of an idea of your scene in this film. It's not really much of a spoiler, so we'll be able to show it with you. But it's great stuff because we've got a lot of stuff. And the other thing is I got to applaud you because you're a part of this younger acting crew that's coming up in this area. We've got Jonah Lee from the Brockton area. He was in HBO's Insecure. He was Issa Rae's brother on the show. So we've got him. We've got another gentleman out there. He's in the show. We had Destiny Claymore, who was on this show about 3 months ago. She was in the movie Fall Guy with Ryan Reynolds. And, you know, there's a lot of local talent getting noticed in these films. So I'm going to have to keep my eye on you, keep following you on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter of all of those things, and make sure we're showing you some support. So whenever you come around and you've got something you want to plug or show us or whatever, commercial, anything. Because commercials are really funny lately. I find that commercials, they're really doing something different with ads. It's like they want commercials to stick in people's memories as being this funny commercial. We just can't get away with just stuff anymore. For you, I got to ask you, you're an actor, you're doing all these films. If you could act in a film with anybody, a romantic comedy, who would that person be? Who would be your Molly Ringwald?
Jennifer Lopez. I mean, she's done so many romantic comedies, and I mean, I feel like that would be just a great opportunity to be able to work with her. I mean, she's incredibly talented, and yeah, no, that would definitely be really cool.
And she's got a film out coming up with Owen Wilson as her romantic interest called Marry Me. I'm not feeling it. I'm not seeing the chemistry there. I just don't get it. But we'll see. J-Lo, on top of being a music maker, money-wise, it seems like everything she's in for movies can make gold too, you know? I'll have to check it out. And who is your inspirational actor of all time?
Inspirational. Ooh, I gave this a thought. Al Pacino and I think Denzel Washington, those are two that, I mean, I watched like a lot of, you know, Denzel interviews too, and I'm like, man, he's really come from the ground up, and you know, there's something I really admire about that. And then I always hear about Al Pacino. I watch a lot of his work, so it's just like, yeah, you got to go with him too.
All great actors. And if you could be a certain type of actor, and I've said this before to a lot of people, it's funny because, you know, there's a lot of people that like to get the big budget film. They like to be The Rock and have one movie every 3 years or something. But I tell people sometimes I would rather be like a Samuel L. Jackson type actor. Samuel L. Jackson is a guy who, he's never really a big role. He's never a major star. He's always that secondary character, but he's always in the right movies. You know, he's Nick Fury in all the MCU, so he's been in a ton of MCU movies and he's collecting checks. He was in Jurassic Park. He was in Die Hard. He was in Star Wars. You know, he was in Goodfellas. It's, you know, his agent is like, you know what? Let's not settle for all these other roles. Let's just get you in these roles where you're going to get remembered and you're going to get a name for it. He was in Coming to America. Great scene in Coming to America where he's robbing the McDowells. Samuel Jackson was the robber in that film, and when you talk about that film, everybody remembers Samuel Jackson's part in that film.
Right.
That one, all it takes is that one pop. So what would you rather be? Would you rather be like a Samuel L. Jackson guy, constantly working, constantly people like, hey, that's that guy? Or would you want to be that guy like The Rock where, you know, you do one movie every, 3 years, but once you do it, it's, oh my God.
Yeah. No, I really like Samuel L. Jackson, just being, having smaller roles in the movies, but I mean, it feels like the quality of the work is really there. Like for me, just being a part of like really cool stories and just however, he does it, smaller parts, but everybody just loves his work. Like that's cool.
Yeah, because that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, if you look at Samuel Jackson in MCU movies alone, I'm like, he's got a royalty check coming from almost 8 of the 20 Marvel movies out there that he was in. So he's collecting, a check from those. He's getting checks from Jurassic Park. I'm like, this is That would be me. I would rather that. I'd rather get the check from Star Wars, where even though Samuel L. Jackson got killed by the Emperor, he's still like, but I'm still getting the check from Star Wars.
Yeah. No, it's funny as shit.
That's how I'd be.
Yeah. Right.
You know? Yeah, that's the scene where I did the dance and my brother killed me. Wesley Snipes killed me in Jungle Fever. But he still collected that Wesley Snipes Jungle Fever check from Spike Lee, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, so for you, you know, you've got this film. It's something to build on. Let people know about where they can follow you in your social media and stuff, because I'd love people to stay in touch with you and show you support and build your followers up and stuff.
Yeah, man. So I'm on Instagram. It's at Anthony Marrese, as well as TikTok, same username. So you can find me on those platforms. So yeah.
Got to get your TikToks going, man, and your Instagram's popping for yourself, man. Got to build on this. I saw you with your feet up, Instagram, and you know, if you guys are out there, ladies out there, you want to follow him, get some TikToks going. Have you put a TikTok up yet with all the women screaming as you're coming out your house yet?
No.
Oh, bitch, yeah. See, you got to do that. You're in a major motion picture. You're in a scene with Jennifer Lawrence. You got to just take your phone, walk out your house, and put that little screaming girls in the background, and you just wave, just look smooth. And trust me, your TikTok and Instagram will be popping, bro. Be popping. Yeah. You can put your little tag, don't look up. Girls know you. Oh, man, bro. Oh, we got to talk. You should be getting on that now, boy. You know, you got that look. Yeah, you got that look, and we're gonna keep following you, man. You got to keep going.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
So, anything that's coming up, or nothing at this time? Because you attend school, correct?
Yeah, no. Right now it's just completely unrelated to acting. I've been taking electrical code classes to build up towards my license. So I mean, there's that. And then when it comes to auditioning, yeah, no, we've been auditioning here and there, but definitely just got to keep the momentum going, and you know, just keep improving on top of it. So,
yeah, and that's all you can do. And you know, once you get an agent or take care of things on your own, they'll it's one of those things you hear, like when it happens, then you can't keep up with it. You know, it always seems like for everybody in that business, it seems like it's always a slow build. And then when it pops, it pops. I remember when it hit for Frank Zanowski, who's here in this area. He's another actor. He was in Patriot Day and a couple of other films. He's a Brockton police officer. Shout out to Frank Zanowski. He was also one of the co-hosts of my show, The Booth. He went through a stint there where he was almost ready to quit. You know, he felt like he wasn't getting anything. You know, then all of a sudden he hooked up with these independent films, non-union, and he was doing a lot of these independent films. And then he got offered his SAG, and then he did Patriot Day. And then it got to the point where he was like, he had a lot of things coming in, but then he was like, wow, I can't really, he's still a Brockton police officer. I really can't. So he kind of reeled it back, kind of went back to doing independent stuff. And then I'm pretty sure once Frank retires from the Brockton Police Department, then he'll look more into getting into back into the SAG stuff. But it seems like that's how it is for everybody. Once it takes off, then you can't keep up with it. It's crazy how it works out. So for you, we'll try to definitely get you back on here when you've got something coming up. Make sure to stay in touch with you. We want to make sure people follow you. I'm gonna check out this TikTok. I'm gonna give you about 2 weeks. Not even 2. I'm gonna give you a week to get that TikTok up of you coming out your house or coming out your car with the girls screaming.
Got it, man. I got the idea to promote to promote it for sure. So I mean, I got a few ideas, other than like, you know, the girls and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen a few trends where I'm like, yeah, I feel like that'd be a good way to be like, yeah, no, so I'm in this scene, you know. So yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. All you gotta do is just put that "Don't Look Up" logo, you coming out the house with a coffee in your hand or tea or whatever, and just had that little audio clip of the girls all screaming and loving and saying hello to you, and man, that's gonna pop, bro. That's gonna hit for you. You gotta get that going, because people are gonna see that on TikTok and they're gonna be like, "Who's this kid?" And they see "Don't Look Up," and then they're gonna go right to the scene. Or you could just add that scene right to it. So after you play that clip, that's your scene from the film, man. You need some help, so this one Productions can help you with that one. Let me know. Let me know. So hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show the little scene from "Don't Look Up" that you're involved with. And what I like to do is when I show a clip or something, I like the person who's involved with it. I'm gonna let you introduce it.
Okay, sure. So in this scene, it's me, Newell, and Jacob. We're shoplifting, and we see the crazy girl that was screaming on live TV. So yeah.
Nice. This is "Don't Look Up" on Netflix. Anthony, thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me. This
1 week. I need that clip in 1 week, man.
Yeah. No, I got you. No,
all right. Here's the clip from "Don't Look Up." Anthony Marrese. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram and Twitter. And here's the clip right now. Netflix, "Don't Look Up."
I'd like to buy these sunglasses.
You know that girl from live TV said we're all gonna die?
No. What's your purchase?
What the fuck? Nah, that's you. That's definitely you.
Yep, that's me.
Holy shit, you're a stone cold legend. Word is bond.
Got a picture of you on my board.
A picture on his fucking board.
That's great. What's your purchase? If you don't have one, I need you to get out of line and make room for the other customers.
Can I touch your hair in a non-sexual way?
Get the fuck away from me.
Dude, call Diogo. He's gonna freak out. We say hi to my friend real quick. Dude, he's obsessed with you. We love you. We can't stand Orlean either.
Yo.
What's up, dude? Shut the fuck up. Check out where we're with.
Yo, bro!
All right, your boy Sinister One back here in the booth, broadcasting live from the City of Champions. And that was, I got to thank my special guest, Anthony Marrese, who was on with us from "Don't Look Up." And I got to thank him for coming on the show for the interview. Good stuff. And he's actually in the chat, so say hello to him in the chat. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's 7:22. I got to make sure I'm off tonight because at 8:30, Matty C Sports View, he got a great show. 2 shows. He's got Brant Killer B Moore, a boxer on his show who's fighting this Friday night. So he cut this last minute interview with him. And then Liam McGuire, who's the author of the NHL Encyclopedia. He is also on his show, which is great because tonight the Bruins are doing something very special tonight. I'm going to talk about in the sports booth. Also, I see Gloria Shea in the chat. Sugar the Play. Talk Back with Gloria Shea podcast, one of the Sinister One productions. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Again, I got to thank my special guest, Anthony Marrese of "Don't Look Up." So we're going to get right into the news booth at 7:23. Firefighters in Brockton were battling two house fires this weekend in one day. And the reason why I want to mention this is because, fires are a horrible tragedy. It's already horrible enough as it is. You lose all your belongings. Stuff can't be replaced. It's one of the worst tragedies that can happen to a family. This one here, unfortunately, was one of them over on Stillman Ave, was started due to ignorance. And, I had some people come at me and ask me questions in regards to this story because I called the people idiots. And I hate to say this, but I have recognition, and I have an experience that happened a while back when my son was, first born and staying at his grandmother's, and, we took him out for the day, came back, and the apartment complex, the entire wall was blown down and burned, And what had happened was, and this is what happened in Stillman Ave, the person was at home smoking while on oxygen. This isn't rocket science, people. What kind of addiction do you have where you smoke a cigarette with oxygen? One of the most flammable contents that you can have near you and in your home. I remember when it happened in Mansfield for us years ago. The fire burned so hot and the flash was so quick that it fused the gentleman to his wheelchair. His body was fused to the chair, burnt, crisp to the wheelchair. That's how hot it was. That's how fast it flashed. Luckily, this didn't happen here in Stillman Ave in Brockton. I'm hearing the woman did die from her injuries from the smoke inhalation, I guess I'm hearing. But again, smoking is an addiction. People get addicted to nicotine. This is an addiction where you throw all common sense out the window. You know that you can die while smoking on oxygen. The doctors tell you this. There have been people who go and tell their doctors they have oxygen, they're smoking while on the oxygen, their doctors are telling them, hey, this is not a good idea. But they still ignore it. It's just, ignore means ignorance. And this could have been just a horrible tragedy. So if you know anybody out there, or if you yourself is on oxygen and you're smoking cigarettes, mate, put that away. Think about the people around you. Think about yourself. Stop being ignorant and foolish. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And these people lost their homes and where they're staying. Sad. It's tough. It's a crazy, crazy thing. Addiction. It's crazy. Craziness. Moving on into the news booth. A 555 carat diamond was found in Dubai. And they're saying it might have came from outer space. So you can't even put a price limit on it. But here's what bothers me is the fact that this 555 carat diamond landed in one of the most filthiest, richest places on the planet in Dubai. Why couldn't that diamond fall somewhere like Compton or Roxbury? It had to land in Dubai. You have some of the fastest supercars, some of the richest oil princes, and homes built with gold walls in Dubai. Come on, man. The rich get richer, man. Even in science fiction, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I want to learn more about this. I want to see more of this. I want to see if it really did come from outer space. That would be great. But again, Dubai. Yeah, Travis Prime says, not in our backyard. Never. No. You can't put a price tag on this diamond. You can't. And it lands in Dubai. Anybody who's done tours of duties over in Dubai, I know my boy Dennis. Dennis went to Dubai when he was over there for Desert Storm and stuff, and he told me about all the crazy, ridiculous, rich things that he saw. He told me, and he said it was hard because you can't take nothing, you can't touch nothing, and the stuff you saw in Dubai was insane. So, man. Also in the news booth, Port of Boston welcomes its biggest container ship ever. So if you guys didn't hear, the federal government supplied funding to allow up in East Boston, not too far from where I work from, the canal where the boats come in from overseas, they actually dug down 7 feet and then they expanded it by 2 meters width-wise. So now we can get these bigger ships at the ports. Now, everybody, I talked about this on the show a while back about the whole, ports being blocked up and things of that sort. And I had told people that I saw this thing on 60 Minutes where this shipping port chaos was created. It's created by Mazurk, which is another shipping company. Evergreen, Costco, not Costco the store, but Costco, C-O-S-C-O shipping company out of China, handle all this shipping from overseas. Now, the reason why Boston's still booming and hasn't seen any slowdown is because Boston ports don't deal with Masaryk. They deal with Evergreen and Costco. And all of the ports affected by the bottleneck is Masaryk, which has made record number of I think the last 2 years they've record profits like in the millions of billions. It's been crazy. 60 Minutes had the article, so look it up. It's insane. And they created this whole thing. Created it. Also in the news boost, rest in peace to General Charles McGee. Rest in peace, sir. He was one of the original Tuskegee Airmen. For those who don't know anything about history and the Air Force, Tuskegee Airmen was the first group of black pilots who were allowed to fly and fight in the war. And they made a movie. They made a few movies about it. There's a few movies about Tuskegee Airmen. HBO did one years back when HBO first started making movies, and they did a movie about the Tuskegee Airmen. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. But again, rest in peace. 102 years old. Lived a long, prosperous life, man. I bet you he had a ton of stories. A ton of stories to tell. Man. So rest in peace, General Charles McGee. Getting into the legal booth, here's another one here. Supreme Court's to review Boston's refusal to fly a Christian flag at City Hall. You can't. I don't even know why this is a story, people. Church and politics must be separated. Separation of church. So what has happened here, there's some person, a plaintiff, who's trying to have a Christian flag flown in front of City Hall. Separation of church and state. Can't have it. It's always been that way. So this person's now got the fight all the way to Boston's Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will have to make their decision there. I'm pretty sure they're going to shoot him down because if he's allowed to force City Hall to put a Christian flag at City Hall, then guess what happens? And every other religion has a right to file and have their flag flown. So you can have a Muslim religion flag, you can have a Jewish flag. For the, you know, this is how it, separation of church and state. No, can't happen. So I hope the Supreme Court does the right thing. Also in the news booth, actually, we're in the legal booth still. Mike Lindell is upset. You know why Mike Lindell's upset? And if you guys don't know who Mike Lindell is, that's the pillow guy. Trump's big buddy. Believes that the election was stolen, regardless of all the proof out there that it wasn't. Mike Lindell has been putting money everywhere to promote this crazy thing about the election being stolen, which we all know it wasn't. Mike Lindell is being sued by Dominion for his accusations. He went on a tirade this weekend about Fox because Fox isn't back in the story no more. Well, there's a reason why Fox isn't back in that story of stolen election anymore, Mike. Because Dominion was about to sue Fox. And Fox ain't paying that lawsuit out. So smarten up. So Mike Lindell, because he's been out here spreading all these crazy rumors and crazy stories and hosting all these crazy infomercials and going on all these crazy informational podcasts about stolen elections and things of that sort, guess what happened? His bank, and pay attention to this, people, his bank closed his accounts, saying that his actions and what he's doing can cause the bank reputable damages. And I know people are going to say, well, he put his money in there, he should have a right, blah, blah, blah. No. Ken Diesel and those guys were on this show, and we talked about this. When you deal with a business, a private company, you've got no freedom of speech. You got no right. You got none of this. If you go somewhere and you want to act a fool and you could cost them business or you could cost them anything, a tax on their businesses or whatever, they have every right to shut you down. You're a customer. Sorry, Mike. Imagine that call. Get him in here. Shut his accounts down. Imagine that bank manager. That must have been hilarious when they contacted him to tell him that they was closing his accounts. He's going to have to find his bank elsewhere. Hey, put your money in crypto. Or start your own crypto coin, Mike. Pillow crypto. Oh, man. Also, to close out the legal booth. Here we go, guys. Enrique Tarrio was released from jail. Role in extremist group is unclear. What do you mean it's unclear? We talked about it on this show. We know what his role was. He was a rat, bro. He was a federal government rat. Period. You don't think so? January 6th was the insurrection. On January 4th, or maybe I think it was the 5th. Nope, it was the 4th because we had the booth on January 5th and we talked about it. So on January 4th, during a live interview with, I believe it was CNN or Fox, I forget which network it was, Enrique Tarrio had just landed in Washington. He's on the phone doing a live interview, and guess what happens to Enrique Tarrio on a live interview on TV? He gets arrested for burning a flag at a church in Washington. Then the insurrection happens the next 2 days later. And then after the insurrection, all of a sudden the government's got all this inside info from someone who had boots on the ground. And they had all this information on the Proud Boys. They had all this information on all these other white extremist groups. They had all this information on the Oath Keepers. And all of a sudden everybody's getting pulled into court. All of a sudden everybody's militia groups and houses are being raided and all this stuff, right? While Enrique Tarrio is sitting in jail doing a 4 or 5 month bid for burning a flag. I already talked about him on the show. He was already a rat before. He already had ratted out a Mexican cartel. He's a government rat, people. Government rat. And the Proud Boys obviously didn't do a good background check when they allowed him in the ranks and made him a leader. Obviously didn't do a good background check. He's a rat. A government rat. He's in for them to say his role in the extremist route is unclear. Y'all know he's a rat. And I'm pretty sure all the Proud Boys that are out there know that he's a rat by now. But they can't touch him. No one can touch him. Come on now. Something happens to Enrique Tarrio now, it's going to be a world of hurt. World of hurt. Entertainment booth, everybody. Brockton ex-convict is telling her success story on BET's American Gangster Trap Queens. Ayana, she has this story, Ayana Bean. It was actually featured on BET last year. And it's coming up again because she's releasing a book about it. So she did time because she had committed fraud and took monies for a record label and things of that sort. And she ended up doing time. She ended up going to prison and stuff. She's been released, served her time, and now she's turned her life around. She's telling her story on this show, American Gangster Trap Queens, and she's also released a book. And the book signing, I think, is January 29th. So I'm actually going to reach out to her and try to see maybe if I can get her on the show to talk about this book. Because wouldn't be bad. Talk about her experiences and how this came to be and how she's completely turned her life around. Also, in the entertainment booth, Tiffany Haddish was arrested for a DUI in Georgia, fell asleep at the wheel. When they got to her, she had a DUI. And it kind of upsets me because her mentor, Kevin Hart, he's the guy that got her career going. He's the one that really, hey, what's up, Paul Damon? Good to see you too. Kevin Hart had a DUI. And Kevin Hart did a whole interview on The Breakfast Club, and he talked about how that woke him up because he realized when he almost got that DUI, a lot of people who work for him and look to him for, a check were going to have their livelihoods cut. And that's when he realized, damn, man, when I go out, I got to have somebody drive. I can't be driving and taking that risk no more. So Tiffany Haddish, you would think she would learn from him. It looks like she didn't. She has a lot to lose. She got 2 new TV shows. And, it bugs me when you see these stories because it's like these people, you can't afford an Uber or a lift? You can't call somebody to come get you, like a private limo or something? Tiffany Haddish got money right now. I know she ain't broke like that. And now you almost ruin your entire career? Tough. It's a tough story. Netflix is raising monthly subscription prices for all plans. Should be a wake-up call to anyone. Should be Mike Smith. What's going on, man? But under COVID, they snuck in and they raised the prices. And they had Netflix jumped. Their subscribers jumped by, it was like a crazy amount. I want to say it was like a third of new subscribers they received on Netflix under COVID. And now they're going to raise prices again by maybe, I think they said it's going to be $1 for the basic tiers and $2 a month for the upper tiers. But it's hard to complain about them raising prices, because one of the reasons why they're raising prices is because Hollywood lost the lawsuit against the unions, the lower tier unions. So if you guys don't remember, during COVID, the lower tier unions, the people who work behind the scenes that do all the smaller tasks, they haven't been getting paid any money for these streaming productions and things of that sort, while everybody else is starting to get this money with all the stuff with streaming. They were about to go on strike, and if they had went on strike, would have shut everything down when they were just starting to film everything all over, everything was opening back up. So the union won their contract. So now what's happening is Netflix is probably passing along that buck to the subscribers. And for me, it's hard to complain, because Netflix is consistently putting out good effing products to watch. I don't know how many people I know who spend weekends watching and binge watching Netflix, or you hear other people talking about something that they've seen on Netflix and watch the whole entire. I just saw Kevin Jeffries, Happy Hour with Lito, telling people to go on Netflix and record themselves watching the first 5 minutes because it's a TikTok challenge. And for me, I love Asian horror, Asian zombie stuff. And Netflix, yet again, is hitting us in the head in our visuals with a friggin' zombie flick, another Asian zombie flick called All of Us Are Dead. Now, for me, I'm a big guy, and you guys see my zombie targets when I go to the range. I practice to be the next Rick Grimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be caught sleeping out here. I want my skills with the handgun, with the rifle. They got to be on point. I want to be able to shoot a zombie's head off from 50 yards. Period. I don't want to be stressing out. The problem here is when you get into Asian zombies or Dawn of the Dead zombies, it's fast zombies. And this film here, All of Us Are Dead, is fast zombies. Like if anybody out there see Train to Busan? Train to Busan had fast zombies, but headshots didn't kill them in Train to Busan. You had to dismember them. If you haven't seen that one yet, and you sitting here like, wait, Keith, what you talking about, Willis? Train to Busan, headshots don't work, bro. These were zombies. You had to dismember them, cut the legs off so they can't chase you. Look, I'm not built for fast zombies. If this is a fast zombie movie, I'm dead in the opening credits. I'm gonna be like Steel in Day of the Dead and putting the gun under my. I'm not dealing with fast zombies. I'm not running. I'm not getting a leg cramp, falling down and becoming a morsel for a zombie. That's just saying. So here's the new trailer for All of Us Are Dead. Netflix coming at you. Here we go.
가위바위보. 가위바위보. 해요. 가위바위보.
가자 딱.
바이러스란 살아남고자 하는 본능은 지능을 뛰어넘고 인류는 바이러스와의 싸움에서 단 한 번도 이긴 적이 없어.
그럼 교과서가 틀린 거예요?
틀렸어.
야.
잡아.
한지야.
아니 뭔데 무슨 일인데? 부산행이다. 종기가 왜 학교에 나와? 영화에 나와야지.
바이러스야. 감염된 인간은 극한의 공포심을 느낀 후에 오직 살기 위해 상대를 공격한다. 인간으로 죽느니 괴물이 돼서라도 살아남으라고. 다 죽을 거야. 희망 같은 거 갖지 마요.
제발 도와주세요.
죄송합니다. 다리 기다리고 있어요.
손 놓지 마. 놓치지도 말고. 맞다.
Y'all see the zombie girl crawling? Y'all see that? Y'all see the zombie girl crawling on the floor? Fast? Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'm done, bro. Hell no. Y'all can keep that. Fast zombies. Oh, man. 7:46, we're still in the entertainment booth. Hey! Ladies, listen up. If you haven't heard the news yet, gay men, if you haven't heard the news yet, Jason Momoa, Lisa Bonet, done. Getting a divorce. She's about to know who her real friends are. And who's dropping in them DMs. Look. Y'all look at, I picked this picture for a reason. I picked this picture for a reason. Ladies, take a real good look at Lisa Bonet's face right there. Take a real good look. And that's going to tell you right there, when you look at that face, what kind of divorced wife Lisa Bonet is going to be. Look at that face real good, people. That's going to be one of them, we're divorced, but we're not divorced faces. And Lisa Bonet look like she can fight. So if you think you're going to try to get with her ex-husband, oh, it's not going to be easy, ladies. I'm just telling you, look at Lisa Bonet's face right there. She ain't playing, bro. She's not playing. We might be divorced, but we ain't divorced, you understand? That's Aquaman. Ladies are thirsting over her man, and they can't make it work and stay married, but she can absolutely make some woman's life miserable. Look at that. Look. Face. Lisa Bonet look like she can fight. I'm serious. Oh, entertainment booth. Before we close it out, big ass news today. Oh my God. Y'all know I'm a gamer. Y'all know I love my video games. But look, I've been talking about what Microsoft has been doing under COVID. They bought Bethesda Studios, getting Fallout and getting all this other stuff. They snatched up an agreement with Ubisoft, which may turn into exclusivity with Ubisoft on Game Pass. And then today, the bomb of all bombs dropped. The video game shot heard around the world in the war between consoles. As I've been talking about this, about how the Xbox Series S and X have outsold PlayStation because PlayStation doesn't have enough chips to get them on the store shelves. And people are looking for an alternative. And yes, Sony's got some exclusive games like God of War 4, which is the new God of War, which is coming out. The thing is that God of War 1 is now available on PC, and you can play it on your Xbox through Steam, and then you can play on your computer through PC Game Pass. But here's the problem. Microsoft just went out and bought Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. Now, if you don't know video games right now, you have no idea how huge this. If you've got kids at home, if you got a kid at home that video games, and you want to bring up the topic of discussion at the dinner table tonight, mention Xbox buying Activision and see your kids' eyes light up and watch how they just ramble on like Led Zeppelin. Trust, and this is huge. So Xbox has acquired Activision for $68 billion, $68.7 billion. Overwatch, Diablo, and Call of Duty are already cross-play games. Those games are already on Xbox. Diablo, Overwatch, Call of Duty. What happens here is that they'll probably definitely keep the cross-play because that's where the money is. But Sony has had this thing for the last, 3-4 years where every Call of Duty comes out, they end up getting the exclusive rights for at least 2 weeks. The first couple of weeks, Sony has, exclusive access for all the fanboys and Sony people. Guess what? They lost that. Now it's going to be Xbox. Now, Xbox already said that they don't like the exclusive stuff, so when they release Call of Duty, it will probably release on all systems at the same time. They don't believe in that. But here's the big one, people. World of Warcraft and StarCraft. Now, I'm not a big fan of World of Warcraft. I play it, but I'm not like some of these people who pay that monthly subscription to pay both of these games. They've already said and rumored that they're bringing games to PC Game Pass. My opinion and my feeling is that these people who play Warcraft and StarCraft, they're already paying the monthly subscription fee. So you bring them in to Game Pass, Ultimate Game Pass, then you just give them Game Pass. And then you just put Warcraft and StarCraft on Ultimate Game Pass for us guys. And guess what? That's going to happen. It's definitely going to keep me getting Ultimate Game Pass. It's going to bring new people to Ultimate Game Pass who didn't want to just pay for Warcraft or pay for StarCraft by itself. You pay the $19 a month now, and you're going to get Warcraft, StarCraft, and all the games in Ultimate Game Pass, which are any exclusive games that Microsoft puts out, like Forza, Halo. There's been a ton of games this year. That it's just insane. This is just one of the biggest, most insane things that have ever happened in gaming this year. Huge. Getting into the sports booth. Willie O'Ree's number is being inducted into the Bruins Hall of Fame tonight. William O'Ree is the first black player in the NHL from Canada. He played for the Boston Bruins from 1957 to 1958, 1960 to 1961. His number is going up into the rafters tonight. They're honoring it. And much, much love to Willie O'Ree for being the first black player in the NHL. Boston, breaking barriers. People talk about the racist town, but they were the first to have a black player on the Celtics and first black player on the Bruins. So it's a tough one. We've had our issues with racism here in the country and in this state. So again, congrats to Willie O'Ree for having his number 22 put into the rafters tonight before the game. Giga Chikadze lost to Calvin Kattar of the Cartel here in New England. They fought on ESPN 32, UFC on ESPN 32. He lost the bout. He was talking crap to all these people because he's a sore loser. But, hey, Calvin Kattar needed this win. His last bout out wasn't too well. And then his stablemate, Rob Font, he lost a fight to decision. Both these guys from the cartel, Boston Heart on the map. All the Boston fighters are the fighting right now. Peter, we've had him on the show, Peter Barrett, and all these other guys fight with heart. Boston's fighting with a lot of heart right now, and he fought with a lot of heart. Giga took a ton of elbows. I want to say he took like 9, 10, maybe 11 elbows he got smashed with. Calvin Kattar won the fight by decision, so he'll move on. So big ups to him. Big ups to Calvin. Patriots were sent home 47-17 by the Bills in the first round. And look, I had said this. I had said the Patriots were not getting out the first round unless they got Cincy. Other than that, I didn't see them beating anybody else because they weren't ready in my book. It was a good team, I had felt they could make the playoffs. But they didn't win the playoffs, and all of a sudden, everybody in New England has just lost their effing minds. And I've been holding on. I've been talking about this and staying off of social media because I'm just seeing some of the stupidity and craziness that everybody's talking about. Mac Jones is a bust. Bill Belichick needs to be fired. Blow up the team, start from scratch. Y'all hear yourselves out there how effing stupid you sound? Y'all hear how effing stupid you sound? I told my boy Mike John, he was out there spewing all this crazy stuff, going back and forth and this and that. Put a whole thing out there about we paid to win. You didn't pay shit. The team didn't pay shit. The team paid so they could compete and make it to the playoffs and make a run for the Super Bowl. Championships aren't guaranteed. They're never guaranteed. Ask Dallas. Ask all the teams that have spent a crap load of money in the offseason and barely even make it to the playoffs year after year after year. Let's talk about them. Paying all types of money in the offseason doesn't get you somewhere. Y'all are effing spoiled. Some of you fans are so effing ungrateful and unspoiled after getting 6 championships here. And then the first thing y'all want to throw up and say, well, Brady left and Brady got a ring, yeah? So what? Oh, well, Belichick and Kraft, they could have kept Brady and we could have kept this guy. Look, shut the F up. Shut the F up. Brady wasn't staying here. Brady was going. It didn't matter how much money the Patriots put on the effing table. Brady was gone. Just like the reason I said he was, and it's following suit right now. What did Brady do this year? What did Brady do just 2 weeks ago? He unveiled his Brady brand, which is going to be right up there with the Jordan brand. I said this. I told everybody that this was coming. You can't sell and promote a brand if you ain't at that status. By leaving New England and going to the NFC and winning a Super Bowl in both conferences as a quarterback and doing it on your home field, all it did was add to the Brady brand. And if you don't think that Brady had this ish already planned out and hope for success, because I can tell you right now, just a week after he signed with Tampa Bay, they had already announced that he had already had the copyrights for Tampa Bay. He already had the copyrights for TB12 Tampa. He already had the copyrights. He already had copyrights before it was even announced that he was going to Tampa in the public. He knew what he was doing. And I ain't hating him on it because you gotta promote your brand. You got to expand your brand. He invested in his brand. He took a long shot. Let me try to go outside of the AFC and let me try to get this chip and add to my legend, add to my brand. He did just that. And now he unleashes his Brady brand and his sales are going to be through the roof. He's going to be right there with Michael Jordan. His stuff's going to be bought for years. So stop it, number one, with the whole Brady thing. Number two, this team overachieved. The Patriots going to the playoffs is like going to Foxwoods, hitting $500 on a friggin' machine, slot machine, or wherever, and playing with that $500 for the rest of the night. That's what the equivalent of the Patriots season was right here. And everybody out here that's complaining and saying this and saying that, shut the F up. Shut the F up. Stop it. Stop it. You want to know why? You want to know why? You know why. Because half of y'all had the team written off. Half of y'all didn't even give a F about this team. You didn't. You didn't care about this team. Week 4, I was hearing all y'all in there. So, yeah.
Do something else! Do something else! That's it! That's all we want! Do something else! Holy
Do something else. Stop complaining. Because half of y'all had the team written off. Y'all didn't even have the team going to playoffs. 60% of you was out here talking about how this team was not going to make it to the playoffs because the defense sucked. Week after week after week after week, all y'all was talking about how the defense sucked and this and that, and they'll never make the playoffs. Then they make it to the playoffs, and now everybody's upset and their feelings are effing hurt. Shut the F up. Y'all got... Shut the F up. Y'all have written this team off. Tired of it. Tired of hearing about it. Yo, you want to get rid of Belichick? You want to get rid of Belichick? Really? Really? Because this was one of the best drafts that Belichick has ever had. Rondre Stevenson, Mac Jones, Christian Barmore, all 3 of those draft picks, solid. And you want to get rid of Belichick? Shut the F up. Shut the F up. Mac Jones was in the talks to be Rookie of the Year until after that bye week when things went sour. Now, the rumors behind the scenes are that there was an issue with Belichick and the team having a practice. Now, union rules, they're supposed to have so many practices with pads and so many practices without pads. And supposedly, Belichick made them have a practice with pads that shouldn't have been pads. That's what the rumor is. That's what the word is. And supposedly people are sour because of that. I don't know. My feeling, you want my take as to what happened? The bye week is the week where everything seemed to drop off. But there was one thing that went through this team after the bye week. COVID. So were guys up to par and playing healthy? Or were they still feeling the effects of COVID? We don't know. No one knows. But we do know that there were a lot of players that ended up with COVID after that bye week. So who knows? So just please stop it. Get rid of Belichick. Get the F out of here. Really? You want to know who needs to go? Here's who needs to go. And this is real talk right now. Steve Belichick runs the defense. Steve Belichick had a chance to stop Josh Allen. He didn't have a game plan to stop Josh Allen. Nobody had a plan to stop Josh Allen this year. Because why? There's only really one way to keep Josh Allen off the field. And that's run the ball and keep his ass on the sidelines. Because he's going to beat you with his legs. And that's exactly what he did. He makes some hell. He had 7. They scored 7 times. Josh Allen was going to beat anybody that they met up with that day. Anybody that day. And Steve Belichick's plan was to keep guys in a certain position where you had to watch your coverage, who you were covering, but you had to also pay attention in case Josh ran. So you've got guys doing two different tasks and not being able to cover. That's why they were one step off on every friggin' pass play. That's why the kid McKenzie looked like a superstar again. Steve Belichick is the guy that has to answer for that. That's Belichick's son. The question here is that when Kraft says, hey, your son gotta go, and I know a lot of people are saying Flores is coming back to take that job. No, he isn't. No, he isn't, because they ain't got any black quarterbacks other than Mike Tomlin right now. So Brian Flores ain't coming back here to be an assistant coach or a defensive coach. Brian Flores has to keep the NFL out of trouble, and he has to get hired somewhere. So it's either going to be Denver with him or Gerard Mayo, or Brian Flores will go to Chicago. And then, yeah, Steve Belichick's not going anywhere. He'll get another position. He'll go somewhere else on the team, but he's not going to get fired from the team. The person who I feel should be fired this year from the Patriots organization is the special teams coach, and I don't have his name. I'm sorry that I didn't do the research and look it up, but as far as I'm concerned, he's got to go. You got to go. Special teams was at its worst this year. The worst. Worst in penalties, worst in coverage, worse than a ton of shit. The special teams coach, if anybody's going to be fired, he should be fired. Period. Other than that, all you people talking about, well, for 2 years. What do you mean for 2 years? What do you mean for 2 years? Bro, we had Tom Brady here, went to the playoffs. He left us. A 20-year franchise quarterback left us. We knew what was coming up in the draft 2 years from then. So you go and get a Band-Aid in Cam Newton and hope to just make it to 500 and finish somewhere in the draft so you can draft good. COVID had the whole year effed up. 9 defensive players sat out that season. We come back after COVID with 9 defensive players out. And we go to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. In one of the best draft classes that Belichick has ever done. And he signed Judon, and he signed Hunter Henry. 2 free agents who were positive this year. So when we talk about firing Belichick, blowing up the team, I even saw somebody say Mac Jones is a bust. I had a good friend, Mike Jordan. Mike Jordan was on his page talking about, oh, he wasn't walking around and fired up and this and that on the sideline in Buffalo. He's a rookie, bro. A rookie. Tom Brady didn't get that relaxed until like his 3rd season, 4th season. So stop it, people. Y'all sound effing stupid. Y'all sound...
Do something else! Do something else! That's it! That's all we want! Do something else! Holy...
So I'm just saying. Okay? I've been holding this in because all y'all out here talking foolishness. The team still made it to the playoffs. And guess what? Bill Belichick is going to take this gauge and he's going to make sure this team is ready for next season. Buffalo can have it. They can have the AFC East title. You can have it. You can borrow it for right now. You can have it. But guess what? N'Keal Harry, who I've been supporting, but after that, the 2 drops he had, he's gone. He's gone now. There's no excuse this season. So N'Keal Harry is gone. And I'm pretty sure the Pats are going to sum up either a young wide receiver in the draft to build with Mac, or they're going to go and get another veteran. We'll see. It's going to be interesting because Rondre Stevenson ain't going nowhere. We got Sean Hyde from Baltimore who had COVID. He's a 1st-round draft pick from the Ravens that didn't get to see any playing time, but he ended up with COVID. So let's see what happens there. If he pans out next season, this kid Wilkerson, the wide receiver Wilkerson, the only reason why he couldn't get on the field is because he wasn't a full-time player and they only had so many times options that they could bring him up. So let's see. The Patriots are in a damn good position. And guess what? They signed Mac Jones to that usual 5-year rookie contract, cheap money. So they're going to have, so the where they were with the salary cap last year, they're going to be there this year. They're going to have all this extra money in the salary cap again. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So all y'all out here talking about blow up the team, fire Belichick, Mac Jones is a bust. Shut the F up. Shut the F up. Tired. Y'all sound stupid. Was it an embarrassing loss against Buffalo? Yeah, it was. It sucked. The loss sucked. The loss sucked. I even posted, like, in the second quarter, I was like, their body language is horrible. They were already defeated. I don't know if it was the cold. I don't know what. But we'll see. Next season, the team overachieved. They played with house money. Shut the F up. Moving on into the sports booth. Richard Childress Racing. New sponsorship. Here's the funny thing. Last week I talked about Brandon Brown and his Let's Go Brandon chant there, the LGB coin being taken away. And then they turn around and NASCAR approves Richard Childress for 3 Chi, which is the first marijuana CBD sponsor in NASCAR. But NASCAR will not allow them to put any type of CBD leaf or marijuana leaf on the car. It's just going to be the words and the letters on the side of the car. But I'm still getting my paraphernalia, as you guys can see here. Bubba Wallace, Michael Jordan. Excuse me. But I'm here. I'm going to get my stuff, though. You guys paying attention to Jackson State? Deion Sanders is the head coach. Made a lot of noise this year. And this man right now is making so much noise, he got players from across the country talking about, I'm leaving, and I'm going to play for Coach Sanders. True Thompson, Florida State defensive lineman in his second year, going into his junior year. Guess what this dude just says? Done, Florida State. Sorry. My junior year, I'm committing to Jackson State. It's like 3 players in the nation this week have decided to pull up shop and take their talent elsewhere. I can tell you right now, Deion Sanders is doing something for Jackson State that no other coach has done for any other team in the history of college football. It's come close, but not like this. Not like this, everybody. This is crazy. So Jackson State's going to get some games on TV next year. They're going to get some games. Prime times, craziness. This is crazy. So keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. Mike Mayock, the GM, 25-24 since his time at GM, fired by the Raiders after 3 seasons. Reason why I mention this is because Mike Flores got let go with a 25-24 record, coaching the Dolphins, and I feel like that he shouldn't have been fired. I felt like the GM for the Dolphins should have been fired because Tua Tagovailoa was forced down his throat because Brian Flores had wanted the Chargers quarterback that they got. So, Justin Herbert. But he has to go. So, he answers for the GM. Raiders, nope. Gotta go, Mike Mayock. If you guys watch Monday Night Football, it was the last Monday Night Football game last night. XFL, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was on. He was a massive whore last night in the show. Dwayne Johnson comes on, he talks with the Manning brothers, and I gotta give props. Eli Manning was given a death row chain. And he was rocking the death row chain last night. Eli Manning was. That's a meme. Yo, they provided us with a lot of memes this season, the Manning brothers. You know, I can just see the meme now when you're a white guy, but your heart is gangster. And it's just a picture of Eli Manning with that death row chain on. Oh, it's hilarious. The Rock was on last night. He promoted DC's Black Adam. He promoted DC's Super Pets. He was drinking his Terramana tequila. He talked about the XFL and what plans he has for the XFL. And then, in the most ultimate of ultimates, and I talk about this on this show and joke about it, when COVID hit, the big thing is what people have in their backgrounds behind them while they're on live TV. And we've seen it. And some of the I've seen some crazy stuff, like during the draft, the NFL draft during COVID. Jerry Jones was on his boat, his yacht. So they simulcast from his yacht. I'm like, come on now, bro. Like, that's a big slap in the face to all the players. And then the head coach of Arizona, he was on during COVID, during the draft. He was at his house. And he's in his living room, and he got a big picture window in the back with this ceramic fireplace and stuff, looking like straight out of Miami Vice. So last night, we're watching Monday Night Football. The Rock is on, and Peyton Manning says, hold on, man. He's like, Dwayne, he says to him, is that a dinosaur head? If you haven't seen it, it's out there. It's all over YouTube. It was great television. Look, I haven't watched any regular Monday Night Football since the Mannings took over. The Mannings, you either hate it or you love it. If you love it, you're going to love it and watch it. Or you're going to just hate it. There's no in between. For me, I'm a football guy. I love football. I've watched football for a long time, know a lot about football. So there's a lot of inside stuff, a lot of technical stuff that they talk about. That a lot of people would be over their heads. But Dwayne Johnson has a dinosaur head in his house behind him. And Peyton Manning asks him and says, hey, is that a dinosaur head? And then The Rock goes on this story about how he hooked up with this paleontologist who found this T-Rex head on an archaeological dig, and Rock bought the dinosaur head and had it cleaned up and has it in his tequila sipping room, his bar room, where he does all these things. I'm like, he won. The Rock won. He's straight gangster. Everybody else got their trophies, their Oscars, their Emmys and stuff in the background. The Rock got a big-ass, authentic T-Rex skeleton head in his house. You win. Rock, you effing win. For real. Biden bombshells. Getting ready to close out the show. 8:17. Shame on Biden for his Atlanta remarks, but are we surprised? There's a gentleman who wrote an opinion piece in The Hill in regards to Joe Biden's speech on Martin Luther King Day about the voter rights suppression down there in Georgia and Atlanta. And a lot of people were pissed because during this speech, Biden pretty much labeled the Republicans that are running the party right now, pretty much labeled them as racist, as Jim Crow. He went on. And, R Squared wrote an article on the Corridor in regards to this. And if you guys have been listening to R Squared on this show the first Tuesday of every month, he has nailed it. And I know the things he says, his press team writes for him. And his last two speeches he wrote were on point. On point. The one he talked on January 6th, that was a legendary, historic speech. The speech that he spoke on MLK Day, I think the Democratic Party and the people who write for him, they're really, really trying to drive home the situation that's going on behind the scenes with the Republican Party and who they're aligning themselves with. Now, you guys saw me just speak about Mike Lindell and things of that sort. Fox has been internally battling itself. If you watch Fox and see some of the stories that they put out there, like Fox has pretty much stopped talking about the election being fixed because they're being sued. Dominion was about to sue Fox. So Fox changed their whole attitude when it comes to talking about this election and being stolen and things of that sort. There was never any proof. There's no proof. Last week we talked about on this show, there was only 438 instances of bad votes. That's it. Out of millions and millions of votes. There were 438 votes that were deemed bad, questionable. And the majority of them were Republican votes. They had a guy who tried to vote twice and got arrested, things of that sort. So I understand where Biden was going with this. Well, his press people were going when they wrote this speech for MLK Day. He was trying to take people back to the civil rights era when things were being done during that Jim Crow era where districts were being controlled so the black vote didn't count. I get it. But I think there was a better way to word it, because you can't label all the Republicans in the Republican Party as being racist, because there are some Republican people who have spoken up and who have talked about some of these things that are going on. So you can't label everybody. Maybe you should have labeled those who needed to be labeled. I think people might have been able to swallow it a little bit better. But if you get a chance, check out Rob Resnick, R-Squared's piece written over on the Corridor. It's a great piece, and those guys will be on the first month. Mike Smith said if I had a quarter every time he said something stupid, he would have 2 dimes. So we'll see. Get ready to get out of here. Just to give you guys heads up, my outro banners right here for you guys. Shows I produce: Oscar Mike Radio, She Talks Football, Drafting Circuits, Talk Back with Gloria Shea, T-shirt winner John Hayes. Mike Smith's in the chat. I actually got to go get his shirt for him and get him his shirt. That's John Hayes, the winner of the shirt for last month. And A7FL's coming, people. No pads, tackle football, player registrations are right now. Right now. So you want to get on it. Get on it. Do what you need to do if you want to play. Let me know. Because I'm going to be having Senor Corsica back on this show probably in a month or two. About a month or two. So I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Again, next week's show, Lee Wang. Lee Wang is on. She is the first Asian woman to climb all 7 peaks and almost died on Mount Everest. She's going to be on the show. Also, we've got Tal Zlotnitsky. He's the millionaire patriot. He's coming on the show. And also make sure to check out Ayana Bean's music everywhere. Don't forget to keep monitoring the Facebook chat and leaving chat messages for me, because I pick a winner for the shirt. And I also want to thank, Maddie C, because we got Brant Killer B Moore. It's going to be on Maddie C Sports for You and Me. And Liam McGuire, the author of the NHL Encyclopedia, he's going to be on this show tonight. So you want to make sure you check that out. And I think that's about it, people. I think that's all I really got to mention. I got to thank everybody in the chat. Mike Smith, Gloria Shea, Paul Damon, Travis Partington from Oscar Mike Radio in the chat. All you guys. Good stuff. And you know what? SpongeBob, do me a favor, because it's 8:22. Take us home.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoopazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine, but your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, bitch, don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip. I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO. That's whobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.